Welcome to Football Fever, presented by the Killeen Daily Herald sports staff. Hello, I'm Alan Mandel, sports editor of the Killeen Daily Herald. I'm joined by our three born and bred Texas high school football experts, Albert Alvarado, Clay Whittington, and Jordan Mason. We've got a huge week number one in our area. And let's start with the big one. Clay, Copperas Cove. How fired up are they to play A&M?
They're ready to go, and outside of Midway and Lake Travis, this is probably the biggest game in the area to start the season. Not to mention, it's not only a great game, but there's huge rivalry involved. They've gone back since 2002, I believe they played each other, but in recent years Copperas Cove hadn't had much luck against them, losing, I believe, 5 of the last 6, including last year when Derek Dick took that kickoff return all the way back for a touchdown, beat him as time expired. But they bring back Manny Harris, co-offensive player of the year in the district last year, and or co-MVP, I should say. Looking to replace Philip Baptiste, all-state receiver, but they have a good core of guys around them. But the key probably this whole year for Cove is going to be their defense. Their offense is going to deliver. It's going to be how their defense steps up and handles its job.
Well, you're lucky you got a great game to cover, so enjoy it, and we look forward to reading your coverage on it. Albert, Killeen is at Leander. Tell us a little bit about that opening week match.
It's going to be interesting. Last year, Killeen got off to kind of a rough start, and when I was speaking to Peyton Searcy, Timon Johnson, some of those leaders on the team, they really want to stress starting out the season better than they did last year. Even though these are non-district games, in the long run when it comes to the playoffs, they really don't mean anything, but they still want to start off with a win and reel off some wins here in the pre-district portion of their schedule just to get some momentum built up. Now, interesting side note, Leander, their head coach is Lee Bridges, who longtime football fans here will remember from when he was the head coach of Killeen High School.
Mm-hmm. Now, Albert, another school that you've written so well about this year is Shoemaker. They're coming off the greatest season in school history. Coach Hall is hungry. He wants more. Now, tell us a little bit about this opening week matchup against Brian Rudder.
Well, Shoemaker, like you said, coming off one of the best year in school history, but Coach Hall is not going to let him be happy with that. He wants to make sure this team gets in the playoffs. They're not just a one-and-done type team. And one of the interesting things is in their scrimmage against Bryan High School last week, still kind of rough as you would expect. Some teams come out of scrimmages, but, he was letting them have it. He wanted to make sure they didn't repeat, and that was such a good learning tool for the team. So I expect a much hungrier Wolves team to come out this week. Defensively, they'll be stacked, especially in the middle with Kendall Jones, big dude up there. If you've ever seen him in person, you'll know he's the anchor. He's the guy that allows for that line, and those linebackers do so many different things there.
And Jordan and Belton. They got somebody to turn the ship around, so to speak. Coach Bob Shipley, tell us about your impressions of Belton so far.
Well, at this point, I guess everyone is anxious now to see what Belton is going to look like. Coach Shipley hasn't coached high school in 2 years. He's coming from the University of Texas, and he's back with Belton. They're looking to turn that program around. They've got a lot of returning talent on both sides of the ball, namely Shane Stafford at quarterback. On offense, he has plenty of explosive weapons. That team went to state 7-on-7, so that's no accident. And then they've got Tevin Jones, the linebacker, on defense, who's no slouch. So they're going to look to get off to a good start. Didn't have the best non-district last year. They'll look to change that against Waco University.
Okay, and then Saturday, you'll be in Waco for Harker Heights opening, and tell us a little bit about Harker Heights and what you expect out of them this year.
Well, Heights is coming into this year with a big chip on their shoulder after a 2-8 season. They want to prove to the rest of the district that is not Knights football. And Coach Edwards, in his second season, has preached that to these guys. This is his first full off season, and that's a pretty talented team. You've got Troy Smith, the Army committed quarterback. He's only one of 3 returning starters on offense, but they've got weapons. Josh Ellis at running back, also sophomore Madu Anelli, who also contributes on the defensive side of the ball at linebacker. He's looked great in the spring and in fall. And then you've got the receivers Ty Goodwin and Jordan Weller. So a lot of weapons on offense, 8 returning starters on defense. Heights is looking to turn it around, starting with Waco Saturday.
Jordan, tell us a little bit about Ellison. That's another school you've written so well about this spring and the summer, and all year. I mean, what do you think about this team turning things around?
Well, that's what they're looking to do this year. Obviously, everyone wants to talk about their record the past 3-4 years, but Coach Gregory said, what record? And that's how the guys feel. I mean, talking to them, they don't just want to win. They want to go to the playoffs. They want to compete as one of the top teams in this district. And this week, they named Carl Robinson III the quarterback. He's a sophomore, dynamic athlete who can beat you with his feet and with his arm. He has plenty of weapons on that offense, namely Deion Birch, the running back. He started for Ellison all last year and was one of their top weapons last year. So they'll look to get it going on offense. And Coach Gregory said the defense has a lot of speed. They were strong last year, so Ellison really looking to get it going early, and they'll try to start against Eagle Pass on Saturday.
Okay, thank you, Jordan. Thank you, Clay. Thank you, Albert. And thank you. Thank you for joining us for Football Fever. It's going to be a great week number 1, and we'll see you right back here next week.